Sense Nation.
Sense Nation.
Sense Nation.
This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality. What has been your process?
Of doing what exactly?
Your process of the process of your journey. Yeah, what has been the process of your journey? If you told your son or your daughter, because you want them to know, they're like, there's this and there's this and there's this and there's this. What would you say to them?
Yeah. Everything has its own stage, right? Like I said, there's an order as to how things, as to how the universe runs, right? So you have to be born. When you're born, you're a small thing that doesn't know anything. All you know how to do is just communicate through nasikia. Whatever it is that you're feeling, utalia, right? So when you grow up, you become a little boy you don't understand anything. You ask questions. So many. Unafanya kwa nini? Yeah. The process for me would be, you just have to know the stages and then just accept that you're at this specific stage, and then you'll be able to grow through it, because you can't jump on things
Sometimes,
right? You can't jump on things. So how I've seen it, for people to move towards enlightenment, they usually go into somewhere deep, and connecting it with, say, religious scripture, when they say for you to live you have to die, right? That started, ilianza kunihit, like, haya, it makes sense. For you to like really live, you have to lose it all. You have to die, just like a seed. It all makes sense. It's a science of life. It's how life works. Like a seed, you can't just plant a seed. Ukitoa seed kwa, say, when you have a mango, right? Umekula mango. Good. You just can't plant it and it grows. It has to dry. Yeah. That outer shell has to die. And then you kind of moisturize it kidogo, put it in the soil. It grows, right? Every seed, once it comes from the source or the fruit, it has to die. It has to go through some sort of death. It goes back, right? It goes back to life. So it's a thing. That's why we are buried. You came from the soil, back to it, and then you rise.
it's a whole cycle.
It's a whole cycle. It's a science of life. So once you just understand, oh, this is just how things are.
It trips me very much, death. Death just trips me because, like, at the end of all this, we die. And you don't know when, and you don't know how. As in, like, experiencing it like this, because you're not conscious of the other one, right? Like, you're not conscious, like, I'm doing this right now. All this journey that you're having right now, from child to you become big, father, grandfather, or whatever female or male, you still get to die. There are those who die as being young. There are those who die old. I feel grateful seeing life every day. You wake up in the morning and like, thank you God for another day. Because now it is not, and I think getting the point of conscious, and you're like, life is not, tomorrow is not promised.
I think we've grown up being so afraid of death because we don't understand it. But I strongly feel like death is a kind of transition. It's a kind of freedom from. once you're operating in the physical realm, you can only do so much. You're bound within space and time, right? Once you leave the body, say there are people who can meditate and go somewhere else. There's people who do, what can I say? What's it called? There are people who have out of body experiences. Right? Like literally get out of your body. I've never had that experience. I would love to. I would love to.
Hey,
Right? I would love to. Because that it kills. It's the ego that comes in between your spirit and your body. Right? So you identified so much with the body and everything that's external, you forget that your consciousness is creating everything. How you're perceiving all this is as a result of you, right? It's as a result of your consciousness, how consciousness, mind. Like we all agree this exists.
yeah.
Just like the Constitution. It doesn't really exist, but we all agree. Ndio hili tunaisoma saa tuna agree that hii ndio inatugovern, and it's just how it is. It's a thing as a result of collective consciousness.
1, 2, 3.
So I think death is just a kind of transition. Because I've had people who've gone through those near-death experiences and they talk about such beautiful things. They're like, I could literally see myself leaving my body and I went somewhere and guys were welcoming me back. It's like I was here before. Do you know how many times I've had that? It's like I was here before. Like, guys msi anafika kwa like sana kwa welcome back, like ulikuwa lost. Umerudi.
Whoa.
So looking at that and then reading on different texts, even African texts, they usually say when you're born there's an agreement that's made, right? So you choose, this is where I want to go, and then when you get into the physical body you forget where you're from. There are people who remember, apparently. There are people who don't. You forget. It's all over. If you read on Indians and what how they talk about how the world came to be, it's like God recreated himself, right? He recreated and then put himself in a body, and then akishaingia kwa body anasahau hizo vitu zingine za whatever is on the other side. So this is just, that's why it's called a journey. Life is a journey. You go through it.
Sisi ni wapitu.
Ukimaliza utoke unarudi hadi kule. Yeah.
That was a trip.
Right? I strongly believe that. I don't know about things, and that kind of killed my fear of death. I was like, there's more to this than just this. It's the attachment to, is there more to this? Is there more to this than just this? But I think there really is. Because if you can be able to communicate with other beings and they respond in certain ways, there is really more to this.
Wow, so man, putting like that, I feel in this world you're here to create stories that you're gonna be telling in the next world of what you did, and what kind of stories do you want to be saying you did this time.
Right? Sure.
Anyway, maybe I will tell you what here. So now this is not here. This is not your grandkids. This is next place.
Somewhere else.
Like, yeah, no, it's a whole experience. I usually like, to collect memories, collect. Good vibes is so real that. Yeah, that's what I want to be giving stories of. Being a grandfather, more than just being a grandfather and giving all the stories to kids, or being an uncle telling to your nephews, or being a father telling to your children. It's so much higher than going past death, and you're like, you still are. And there's still, you still are.
True. Either way, death is for everyone. So there's no escaping it. Uogope, usiogope. It's for everyone.
Now that trips me. Then after all this, still okay, who am I? I can feel the part of the ego. You're still gonna die.
attached to everything.
At the end of the day, life is so basic. Even as the richest person, still want simple things. Beautiful lady.
Yeah,
Clean
full
water.
around there, right? We all want the same
Family,
things.
a laugh, a chill. Not everybody wants to be here working the whole time. Even an alcoholic, anakanga chini kwa kitembea kwa I feels good. Hadi akumbuke anafaa kufanya kazi, endelea tena. Current issues in the country and all at large that you are passionate about.
Current issues in the country and the world at large. People are waking up. It's exciting.
Yeah, that's
People are
exciting.
waking up. We are waking up to the illusion. It's all been a game. Like it's all been a game. It's all been orchestrated. Yes, sometimes. Okay, waking up can come with its own disappointments, because what you thought was isn't, right? It's not. Or what you've been looking towards as your savior, I guess, or something that would be helping you, was actually depriving you of your greatness, right? Kind of like for example, religion. Most people now are letting go of that and kind of asking themselves, what's my contribution to this world? That's where I got. Grew up as a Catholic, and then growing up, I came to a point, started asking myself some questions. I really started asking myself, God, what is all this? Why do I believe what I believe? Good question. So, is it as a result of me mwenyewe, I experienced it for myself, or do I just hear stories and I have to believe that because this story happened, you have to believe it happened? There's a difference. Buddhists tell you don't believe in all this. Sit down yourself, close your eyes and start asking, who am I? Who am I? And you will get the answer. No one will tell you. They don't teach you some kind of you are want to. They tell you, go and sit and meditate about who you are. Exactly. And at that moment of sitting, closing your eyes and removing everything, you find that there is nothing. Like, there's nothing, but there is something.
Sometimes I should have this thing. The highest understanding is understanding that understanding is hard, and you not understand sometimes.
Yes, you can't understand. Understanding the way is really hard.
Understanding you're not understanding.
But what is understanding really?
In
In the first place.
Understand. You have a stand.
Okay.
You have a stand. You have a stand, but can you like even go under it and be like, still be like, I can, with this stand, I am sure, because like the Bible, where you're told, when you being given the word in church, you should go through it and study it.
It's very important.
So one of the things is mostly people I think look, but going under like a car. Actually, I understand. I got it from when I was in a garage. Somebody going under the car. You from outside you be like, trying to look like this. You can't say it until you go like under the car. You're like,
That's when you see.
wow, it's a different view. You can understand everything what's happening
going on.
in a car.
Interesting.
Compared to trying to bend and look from afar. So my version of understanding is getting to a place you can even like,
You can see the
by
bigger
this
picture.
stand that I have, getting under it, I'll still be like, understand it from
different perspectives. I think that's how the religions form in different parts of the world, because people understand things differently and based on culture and all that. But the roots, everything is just the same. We're all working to the same goal, is just the peace and oneness of everything.
What's up, one issue like that? Because for imagine the peace and oneness of racism.
There's no peace and oneness on racism.
No. The weird thing is, when you see a certain group of people feel better than the next compared to, you see, that's oneness already. But again, it's limited to just this oneness compared to the oneness. Weird, because I feel an African going like to UK or to a developed country, to a not a developed country, and still receiving racist remarks and blah blah blah. These people have the books, these people have the time, these people have facilities and all that, but still they don't understand. They are as human as the next person. As in, I don't care who you are. I don't personally like you're so like the next person. It's unbelievable.
Once there's a us and them, there's no oneness. Racism is an extreme part. Don't even go there. Come to you as a human being, right? And nature. That's where the disconnect begins. There is us and nature. There's me, the human being, and there's that dog. You're one and the same thing. You have blood, you have flesh. Just that the dog has a different kind of feature from yourself. That insect that is there, that plant that is, it's all
reproductive, circulatory, breathing,
everything. The lightning, hiyo lightning ikipiganga hivi sinakwanga na maveins hivi. Vein structure yako ya mwili inakaaje? Vein structure yako ya nerves, backbone yako kutoka kwenye inakaaje?
kidneys inakaa, begins.
You see? You missed the point. It just starts there. Racism is just an extreme part of that start. Because once you have that us and them, ego imeingia pap, ukole mimi yenyewe. Mimi vitu zingine zote. But I think us as humans, we learn a lot from nature, not the other way.
Oh, what if?
Right?
Yeah.
Juu tulikuwa tunajuaje vitu za kukula na vitu si za kukula. Msenge ona mbuzi imekulea stuff. Pia mimi naweza dish. Who's dumb? Who's more intelligent than who?
Yeah.
They already know. They are following suit. They are intelligent, but it's the ego that cut off from you. That's why in the Bible they say man was evicted from the Garden of Eden. Hapo ndo hiyo disconnect ilikam. Ego started coming into place. Human being, si tujigroup hivi, tupige wale tu dominate. Sawa. We never used to have such things. It just came as a result of greed. Just purely greed. You become greedy, you want to have everything to yourself. So come gasi, unapiga moto yako.
So how do you deal with like greed? Because like right now you can identify that greed really does a lot of damage. How do you stay away from greed?
Stay away from. Stop detaching from things. Just like stop attaching yourself to things. I mean, stop attaching yourself to things. Don't attach yourself to anything. When you talk about this phone, what do you call it? The phone. My phone.
My phone. Where's my phone? Hey, it's now. Yeah.
It's just a phone that you use, but it's not yours. It's still not yours. You feel it's yours because you gave someone money and they gave you a phone, but it's just a phone, right? It's just a phone. It's just a phone. Anyone can use it. Nikitaka kutumia hii simu, it's just a phone. Inaweza ibiwa iko ya mtu mwingine. It's no longer yours. So it's attachment to things, and then when we lose them, we are so like when you lose your phone right now, msana kuangalia unapoteza simu, and then that is an energy that you start cultivating. Kesho uko like, hey, I'm kind of stressed, sina simu by the way, sina simu, it becomes a mood.
This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality.